Hi everyone, welcome. Today what we're going to try and do is we are going to try and change an industry. So we want to change an industry. All right, so the example I want to use is going to be, let's think here, industry. Let's go after something like something old school, something like psychologists. So we want to change the industry of psychologists today. So the purpose of this is to try and find a business within an industry that is new, innovative, and has less competition than what exists today. So we want to try and change an entire industry by introducing a new business model. So I'm going to zoom in here. All right. So a couple of things we want to do to change an industry. The way to do this is you want to start with the competition. And we want to rate the competition on a 1 to 100 scale. And what I mean by competition is we want to find out what are the factors that this industry competes on. So if I had to think about what psychologists compete on, the first thing I would say is price. We know it's crazy expensive for our psychologists. Another thing we always see on websites for psychologists is how many years of experience they have and what degrees they hold. Something else would be like their niche or what they specialize in. And I would say just services like, who do you want a bottle of water, or when you call you get a real person or a robot, or how comfy are their sofas, how pretty is it. I would just say services in general. um, so these were the 5 things I would say they compete on. I can't really think of anything else. I would say maybe location, but that would fall into niche, specialized. So I'm going to leave these. So what we want to do now is once we figure out usually 5 is the minimum. Once you have 5 to, I would say 8 max, 5 to 8 things that the industry competes on, you want to break it down by the types of businesses in that industry. So one of the more common for psychologists would be the sole proprietor. Then you have partnerships. These are the 2 main ones I would say especially for professionals that are licensed. Anything like, financial advisors, lawyers, dentists. These are your typical top 2 things: sole proprietorships and partnerships. Okay, so what we have done is broken out the 2 business types and what they compete on. So what we want to do first is rank them on a 1 to 100 scale for these competitive items. So 1 to 100, how expensive are sole proprietors? And I would say they're pretty dang expensive. I would say they're about equally as expensive in my opinion. They're both going to charge a lot. Years of experience, I don't think you could be a sole proprietor if you don't have much experience. So I'm going to say sole proprietors have a little bit more experience than partnerships. And I would almost go a little less, because if you're fresh out, you're not going to have much at all. So we'll go down with partnerships. Okay, degree. I mean, that's pretty much the standard to get in, so they don't really compete on that. They all have it. Specializing. Now, this for sure is one. Whether you're a child psychologist, marriage counselors, men, women, veterans, active military, abused women, substance abuse. I think this is a huge thing that they both focus on. So we'll go big on both of those. And then services, I don't even know what you really put here. I don't think they really care. The service of coming in and talking to them is pretty much the service. I'll just go a little bit higher for partnerships because, they can pay for a receptionist and have a website and all types of other things. So I'll just do a little tick up for partnerships. Okay, so here's how I would rank them. This is just my opinion of how I would rank these 2 business types in these categories. Now, how do we make our business different? So we're going to introduce our individual new business here. And we want to know how to make it different. So the way to do that is you're going to use an acronym called IDEA. And IDEA stands for increase, decrease, eliminate, I can't spell, eliminate, and add. And when you add, that is your blue ocean. And I'll touch on that in a second. Let's think here about what we would want to increase. Well, out of the gate, the first thing I see is services is the lowest. So if we want to be different, we need to increase services. What that looks like, I don't know. Maybe you can have snacks, a TV, more coffees and teas, some type of after hours service thing, having late night, because people work during the day. So maybe switching your hours or something, like doing night service, providing services at night, something like that. We'll put services there. Obviously, price is going here because it's expensive. And if we decrease the price, I think we could reach more people. If we're starting a new business, then years of experience won't quite apply, will it? And the next two, let's see, degree and niche here. What do we want to do with that? So I would say if we're decreasing the price, then we can reach more people. So I would want to be less specialized. To reach more people. And then degree, what are you going to have? More degrees? You can't really have less degrees. Eliminate degrees? Well, you can't do that. I don't think it fits anywhere. So degree, we're actually not even going to put into one of these, which is fine. You don't have to. So we're going to leave that. Now the last piece here is add. We need to add a differentiator that creates a new market. Now let me explain. When it comes to blue ocean, there are what we call red oceans and blue oceans. So we have a red and a blue. Red means that there's competition. Blue means there's no competition. And what we're doing is we're trying to create a new market. A market is a group of people, whether that's types of people, a certain location. A market is a group of people that are going to buy our products. So for example, if you want to start a regular burger joint, you're going to be competing with McDonald's, right? They are already crushing the market for serving burgers. Same thing with pizza. You've got Pizza Hut amongst others. Glasses, cheap glasses. Warby Parker is now occupied that space. They were blue ocean, all online, less overhead, nice looking glasses at 99 bucks. Warby Parker. And they crushed it because no one was doing that and they figured it out. So Warby Parker was blue ocean, but there are others now copying them. They have now entered to a red ocean, but they were first. So it's going to be extremely hard to take them over. So we need to ask ourselves, what are examples of blue oceans? One would be Yellowtail. Yellowtail is an Australian wine. And what they did is they targeted Americans by providing cheap wine. Whereas in America, the only wine drinkers were expensive taste wine drinkers that were of expensive wines that had been around for decades from very well-known vineyards. Yellowtail introduced a $5 wine, and people started drinking it, loving it, and they took over that market. Now you have tons of cheap wines from no-name wineries, and I drink them all the time. If the bottle looks cool, I'm probably going to try it. And they changed the industry. Another one would be Cirque du Soleil. I don't know if I spelled that right, but it looks right. Cirque du Soleil is an adult-themed circus. They went away from kids and started targeting adults. And no one else is doing that. They have really no competition. I don't know who else does anything that Cirque du Soleil does. That is blue ocean. And now we want to try and figure out, how do we make our business different than what anyone else is doing? Cirque du Soleil targeted a different adults instead of kids. Yellowtail targeted Americans and offered cheap wine and from wineries that had no name. So that's three things that were completely different. Cirque du Soleil is also more expensive, so adults more expensive and a different type of theme. So completely different. And just to my Warby Parker point, they were Blue Ocean as well. Cheap, fashionable glasses that were all online, delivered to you, I think in free delivery. And last I saw, they'll send you a box of 10 and you can send back the ones you don't want. So they're doing all types of things that are different. And that's how you control a market and create and change an industry. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to do it for psychologists. So far, what do we have? We're going to increase services, which whenever we come up with what those would be, that would change it. We're going to come off the price, which means we'll get more people and we're going to become a less specialized. And who cares about years of service? If we are providing a great service, helping people, who cares? No one cared that Uber was brand new. They used it anyway. So what do we want to add? How do we become Blue Ocean? What do we need to do to be different? And this is a difficult part. You might have to take some time to figure out how do you make something a bit different. So here, something that bugs me about the industry is that they're never available, right? Like, wouldn't it be nice if there was an app and you could click a button and talk to someone about your problems? Because anytime you need a psychologist, it's always an emergency, right? And then you try to see someone and they're like, yeah, it's going to be $500 and you can't see them for 3 months. No, we're going to change that. That's how we're going to change this industry. We're going to become more available and cheaper. What else can we do? How about something random? Since price is an issue, and in my opinion, they always tell you to come once a week. I don't think that's enough. What if you really want to solve something quickly? Couldn't you go every day, every other day? If you went more, would that solve it quicker? I don't know. I don't know what the studies look like on that. But hey, how would you do that? Maybe with some type of membership, right? What if you paid a flat fee for the whole month? If you had the option, you could either pay a lower price or a membership for the whole month, right? And you can get as many opportunities as you can with the psychologist. Maybe it's just your one, so there's less availability, or if it's a partnership based, if we do it like multiple people that know your situation, then you just talk to whoever's available. But that would be a way to pitch it too. You could say, we are more available because we have a directory of psychologists that know your situation, pay a flat fee, and you can get your situation solved quicker. I don't know, something like that. Remember, this is all theoretical. What we're trying to do is obviously figure out how to make it different. The big thing is executing it. That's how successful businesses make it, is execution. So what else could we do? What else would make it different? We already talked about specializing. That's not different. Location's not different. Who cares if you're in a fancy building, not a fancy building? Actually, that would be sketched out if it was a non-nice building. What if it was something different? Like, what if they could offer you something other psychologists couldn't? The only way to do that would be through like some type of partnership. What if you could partner with other businesses to offer something like, I don't know, like I'm thinking credit cards. Like, you sign up for this credit card, you get Lift Pink. I don't know, if you sign up with this psychologist, you get Lift Pink. If you sign up with this psychologist, you get a yoga session, or you get a smoothie, or I don't know, something random, or you get a massage. You don't know, if you're stressed out, wouldn't you like a massage right after? Like, ooh, we have a massage therapist in-house. Oh my God. I would go see that psychologist. We have a massage therapist right after your session. That would kill it. And it comes with your membership price. Ooh, now we're changing an industry. Okay, so yoga, massage, some type of partnership, something you could offer that no one else has. And we're just put like monthly membership with availability, like more available, just to add little notes for myself. Okay, so now that we've figured out what we're adding the three things of availability, we're adding a membership, and we're doing a partnership. Okay. So these get zeros. These all get zeros because they don't exist. The industry does not compete on availability, memberships, or partnerships. That doesn't exist. But our business is going to try and offer them. Now, what we need to do is rank our business on a 1 to 100 scale for these items. So we already said our price is going to be cheaper. So we're going to be about, if we want to be 20% cheaper, 25% cheaper, then I'm going to add like a 65 here. Okay, dokie. All right, actually be what? What is 20% of that? Be like almost 20 points off. So yeah, we'll go about 20 points off. Years of experience, what did we do? We said we're eliminating that, so that would be a 0. A degree. To do this, we would have to have the required degrees. Niche and specializing. What did we put? We said we were decreasing specialty, so we'll go down to like an average of 50. Services, we're increasing services. I think we want to offer some cool stuff. We'll put in a 55. Now, we want to be really, really available. But, of course, we're one person or two people, and time is limited, so we'll go with an 80. Memberships would be awesome. So I don't know how you put that on a 1 to 100 scale. Just offering it, we're doing a 50 right in the middle. It's kind of neutral. You notice that 50, I've been using that as like a neutral number, like dead in the middle, like it's just happening. I don't know how you go above or below. And then partnerships. I wouldn't go heavy on it. I would do just 1 or 2 things really cool that work. So we'll just do a 25. And that kind of matches up with this 25. You know, something a little better and it just works, right? So 25. So what we've done is we have laid out our ideas and what we want to change. I've explained the difference between red and blue ocean. And we've now laid out the numbers for our business and the industry itself. So what we need to do is make sure that this is right. And this is how you figure that out. If you want to know if something is right, you need to look at it in a chart. So I'm going to move this over here. Notice I deleted this column. So now we just have the competition and the 3 business types. We'll highlight it. And we're going to insert a line graph. And bingo bango. All right, so now we can see for psychologists. I think I spelled that wrong, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Jeez. All right, psychologist. So the way to know if you did this right or wrong is whether or not the new business graph looks like the existing industry. So notice the industry goes a little bit down, up, and down again. The gray one, which is our business, blue is sole proprietor, orange is partnership, gray is ours. The gray one goes down sharply, back up sharply, flat lines, up, down, which is very different than the blue and orange, which down, up, flat, up, down. Very different. If our graph looked like the blue and the orange, we would need to go back and fix our ideas or our numbers and try to make it different. It would tell us that it was not very different. But this here shows us that we are on a very, very different path. And out to the right, the availability, membership, partnership, we are crushing it because we are doing what the industry has never done before. Being more available, offering some type of membership, and some type of partnership. I'm going with massages in-house. Now, I don't know what of this would be legal. You would obviously have to research to see if this can even be done, how you protect your client's privilege or privacy. So this was literally just kind of in the moment. This was half-baked idea. Once you start trying to create a business based on your blue ocean strategy, that's where you will start to tweak things a little bit more. But if you save this and manipulate the numbers as you go, you can keep track of whether or not your business is the same or different in the industry. And this is how you take an industry, whether it's a restaurant, burger joint, whether it's something like streaming videos or automatic cars or lawyers, dentists, whatever it is, you can use this blue ocean strategy on creating a different type of business that has never existed. And you can make your own little miniature monopoly. And I hope this has helped. If you have questions, definitely let me know in the comments, and I'll see everyone in the next video.